Good day. It is July the 28th, and today we're continuing Ezra 8, between verses 28 through 30, and Proverbs 28. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. It's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. Begin Ezra 8, starting at verse 28. And I said to them, Ye are holy to Yahweh, and the articles are holy also, and the silver and the gold are free will offerings to Yahweh, Elohim of your fathers. 29. Watch and keep them until you weigh them before the leaders of the priests and the Levites and the heads of the fathers' houses in Israel, in Jerusalem, in the chambers of the house of Elohim, in the house of Yahweh, 30. So the priests and the Levites received silver and the gold and the articles by weight to bring to Jerusalem to the house of Elohim. So they're still at the gathering place, the rally point, you might want to call it, rendezvous spot, and they're getting all things situated. The priests and the Levites had just come because they didn't have any, and now all the valuable stuff is there too. 28. And I said to them, Ye are holy to Yahweh. The articles are holy also, and the silver and the gold are a freewill offering to Yahweh of your fathers. That's all. You're all consecrated to Yahweh as priests and Levites. You haven't been lessened by the time in exile. You are holy. That is set apart for God. And a freewill offering to Yahweh Elohim of your fathers brings back to remembrance of the covenant. 29. Watch and keep them until you weigh them before the leaders of the priests and the Levites and the heads of the fathers' houses of Israel in Jerusalem, in the chambers of the house of Yahweh. Those likely were like the storerooms outside the temple itself, all the way around. And be vigilant with them until you deliver them. 30. So the priests and the Levites received the silver and the gold and the articles by weight to bring them to Jerusalem to the house of our Elohim. Levites and priests, remember, it wasn't clear of if there were 12 total or 12 each. It appears to be 12 each. Proverbs 28. The wicked flee when no man pursue, but the righteous are secure as a young lion. Yeah, if you are doing something wrong and you see a authority figure, you tend to avoid them, even though they're not looking for you. You just stay out of their way. 2. For the transgression of the land, many are the princes thereof, but by a man of understanding and knowledge, order shall long continue. 3. A poor man that oppresses the weak is like a sweeping rain that leaves no food. When the poor steal from the helpless, they leave nothing. 4. They that forsake the law praise the wicked. In other words, we're not doing the law. You have one choice, one or the other. So if you're forsaking the law, you're praising the wicked. But such as keep the law, contend with them, because they don't want you to. 5. Evil men understand not justice, but they that seek Yahweh understand all things. 6. Better is a poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. 7. A wise son observeth the teaching, but he that is companion of gluttonous men shameth his father. 8. He that augmenteth the substance by interest and increase gathereth for him that is gracious to the poor. 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even as a prayer, is an abomination. Yeah, so it's like being in school and when the teacher's trying to instruct you, you're disruptive, don't pay attention, get other kids doing things, not paying attention, and then all of a sudden, finals come, and during the test, you go, oh, can you help me on problem 5? So it's a hypocrisy. 10. Whoso causes the upright to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the wholehearted shall inherit good. 11. Rich man is wise in his own eyes, but the poor that has understanding searches him through. 12. When the righteous exult, there is great victory, but when the wicked arrive, men must be sought for. 13. He that covereth his transgression shall not prosper, but he that confesses and forsakes them shall obtain mercy. You can't hide sin. By confessing, it means repenting. Confesses and forsakes them shall obtain mercy. 14. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into evil. Have a soft heart. 15. As a roaring lion and a ravenous bear, so is a wicked ruler over a poor people. 16. The prince that lacketh understanding is also a great oppressor, because he don't understand. He just does what he wants. But he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days, so don't be greedy. 17. A man that is laden with the blood of any person shall hasten his steps to the pit. None will support him. 18. Whoso walketh uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. 19. He that tilleth his ground shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain things shall have poverty enough. Vain is empty things, like get poor quick schemes. 20. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be unpunished. That's, again, it's get poor quick schemes. 21. To have the respect of persons is not good. In other words, your verdict of right or wrong depends on whether or not their relationship to you. For a man will transgress for a piece of bread. 22. He that hath an evil eye hasten after riches, but knoweth not that want shall come upon him. Hasten after the riches, you'll be shorty. You'll have things you're going to need and you can't get them. 23. He that rebuketh a man in the end shall find more favor than he that flattereth his tongue. 24. Whoso robbeth his father or his mother and saith, it is no transgression, the same is a companion of a destroyer. 25. He that is greedy of spirit stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in Yahweh shall be abundantly gratified. 26. He that trusteth his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall escape. Yeah, don't trust yourself, trust God. 27. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. Hideth his eyes, saying, I didn't know they were poor. Yes, you did. Give to the poor. You're richer than you realize. And 28. When wicked arise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. I hope you've been blessed by this reading. May the Lord richly bless you. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these things, or if you have any comments, concerns, questions, suggestions, or anything, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whatever you like. And remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.